Illinois Oil and Gas Act. Subparte well drilling completion workover requirements. Definitions 500. Completion fluids means liquids used for the complete workover include salt water, crude oil, frac oil, frac fluid, acid, other treatment chemicals. Completion fluid waste means completion fluids and generated well during completion workover activities. Drilling unit, many freshwater drill muds, air, foam mixtures, drilling of the well, drilling fluid waste, drilling fluids, mud, cutting generated well during drilling activities. Oil drilling fluid means any refined oil drilling, mud drilling containing greater than 5% of fluid volume crude oil. Saltwater drilling used, many saltwater based drilling used may exceed 10,000 parts per million chloride. Department permit post during well drilling, deepening, conversion operation. Copy of permit shall be kept at well site. Drilling fluid and handling storage. Cable tool air rotary drill. When drilling cable tools air rotary equipment, permit shall provide at least one sediment above ground container in which drill cuttings and drilling fluid shall be deposited with rotary drilling with mud. Drilling with a rotary drilling equipment using drilling fluids, permit shall provide at least one sediment above ground portable container. Drilling cuttings shall be deposited with one drilling unit fluid circulation pit leak on the above ground container. Other pits with the reservoir pits used storage drilling fluid waste may be constructed with the name by the permittee. Drilling pits used for the drilling cuttings or the sediment pits for the drilling fluid circulation pits. Drilling fluid waste reserve pits should be constructed sufficient to contain the capacity of all the drilling fluids with the pits of the maintain of the manner reasonably prevents against overflow drilling operation prior to the commencement pit restoration. According to section 245.40 of this part, discharge drilling fluids, any surface water drilling ways is prohibited. Sediment pits, drill fluid circulation pits, reserve pits should only temporarily store drilling, cutting, drilling fluids, and should not be used to dispose of the generated oil-filled waste. Alright, 525 saltwater oil-based drilling fluid handling storage. When initiating drill units of saltwater oil drilling fluids, permit provide such at least one line sediment pit above ground portable container with the drilling cutting shelves that deposit with one drilling unit fluid circulation pit or leak above ground container. Pit used drilling cutting unit sediment pits, drilling fluid circulation pits, reserve pits, drill fluid storage should be lined at least 20 mils thickness liner. Drilling operation freshwater based mud kit establishing drilling and circulation pits prior to use of the saltwater oil based muds. The liners are not required under those unless those pits will be used with drilling fluid waste disposal. The reserve pits and saltwater oil based drilling fluid waste are disposed to be lined. Pits should be constructed in sufficient capacity and contain all the drilling units within the pits of the maintained with a manner with a reasonable pit prevents against overflow during drilling operation prior to commencement pit restoration in accordance with section 245.40 of the port's discharge. Drilling fluids pits with any surface of water with a water drain is prohibited. The sediment pits of the drilling circulation pits receive of the pit should be the only storage of the disposal drilling cutting drilling fluid shall not be with the disposal generated oil field waste. 240, 530, completion fluid and completion fluid waste handling storage. Completion fluid storage prior to use. Completion of the fluids temporary stored with the well prior to the set of the completion active of the fluids may be stored with the line completing in pit or leak free above ground container. Completion of fluid waste handling storage. Completion fluid waste generated with the well during completed activity should be collected at well site with the completion pit leakage of the free above ground container. Pit used the purpose not be the line. Completion of the workover pit used with the completion point. Completion fluid waste constructed with the sufficient capacity for the contained fluids within the pits with the maintained with a manner reasonable prevents aiding against overflow during completion water activities of the commencement pit restoration in accordance with section 245.40 part discharge completion fluid completion fluid waste pits with a sufficient water dish range of water is prohibited. Some element with the drilling fluid circulation pit used with the drilling operation may be used with the collection of the completion fluid waste during the completion activity used with the completion pit with the drill cutting drilling fluids shall be first removed the dike constructed to prevent with the completion fluid waste entering the other pit. Completion workover pits used with the storage of the completion fluids with the prior to use of the well should be lined with the liners at least 20 mils in thickness. Completion workover pits should be used with the temporary storage of completion fluid waste in accordance with the requirements of subsection should not be used to dispose of the general oil field waste. Drilling and completion of the pit restoration. Sediment and drilling of the fluid circulation reservoir pit for the except of the sediment pit for the completion pit for the fill with the level 6 months after the drilling when it ceases. Drill fluid waste for the disposal of the on-site barrier with the triple application and according to the subsection B of the section on the site of the drilling with saltwater drilling oil and fluid waste should be removed at the site of the disposal of the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency the permanent special waste landfill injected class 2 wells disposal of the well during the plugging process of the buried and one over the line pits with the line folded over additional line material and added to the complete coverage of the drilling waste of the barrier at least 5 feet of the ground surface. The surface of the application, even the disposal of the drilling fluid waste prohibited saltwater oil-based drilling fluids waste in the land strip of the incorporated stabilized limited to run off storm water with the dam of the drilling fluid waste of the discharge of the drilling fluid waste and surface of the water of the water drainage ways is prohibited. Drilling pits, even the completion of the pits according to section 24350C2 of the Subparte may shall be filled within 6 months after the completion of activity C for the newly constructed completion of the workover pit should be filled with the levels within 90 days after the completion of the workover activity cease. All completion work over the fluid waste will be removed of the pit and the disposal of the class 2 injection oil of the above ground tanks of the container pending disposal of the prior to restoration. Any remaining residual not removed of the disposal through on the site burial and residual of the particular well on which the completion of the workover pits with the remitted can be disposed of an on-site burial. A drilling completion workover pit shall be followed with a level of manner allows the site of the return of the original use of the non-substancy leakage of the fluids and where applicable sufficient compaction to support farming machinery. 240-550 disposal of general oil field waste and other waste. General oil field waste generated during drilling completion workover activity temporarily stored with on-site containers shall be removed from the site with a part of the conclusion given an activity disposal in accordance with the Federal Reserve Conservation and Recovery Act of 1976. That is subsection E well drilling completion workover requirements.